So this is the Remenham, and we have the University of Iowa up against the National Training Centre from Australia, and I am joined by Sarah Cook in the commentary box, who has rowed in an 8 for Australia, and also Sean Colgan from the United States.
Good morning, sports fans. This is one of the best races that we'll see today.
So we're getting a great demonstration, really, of steering along the island from this crew from Australia that only just arrived, but getting a feel for the Henley course for the first time. James Rook in the coxing seat, a male coxing a women's crew here at Henley Royal Regatta. So the Australian rowing team, they come over here to Europe. They raced recently at the Linz World Cup Regatta. They're including Henley in the programme. But for Henley, they put their World Championship winning women's 4 into this 8. They've packed the 8. The Great Britain women have done the same thing. So interested to see how those two might get on if they come head to head later in the regatta. As we see the crews here coming down, they're about a mile into the course here. We've got there past the Remenham Club coming down towards the grandstands. And the Australian crew at this point have got a good lead over the University of Iowa,
which is the mighty Hawkeyes from the center of the United States. They came in 3rd this year in the Big Ten Conference, 7th in the USA. What's interesting about the Hawkeyes is 4 of these women have never rowed. They're walk-ons at 19 years old. They've only rowed between 1 and 3 years in taking on 4 world champions from Australia. That's what makes Henley so great.
And how would that compare then to the experience the Australian women have had to be here?
Look, we have a very experienced crew here. We've got the World Championship winning women's 4 currently rowing in the women's 8. So in both the Australian men's and women's 8s here, the World Championship winning 4s from Sarasota Bradenton last year are rowing in the 8. So effectively we have one of the strongest 8s that we can possibly vote for the women and also for the men. So it is a tough ask for the University of Iowa to be coming up against a crew of this calibre.
And am I right in thinking they've had a bit of a troubled journey to get here to Henley Royal Regatta?
Yeah, they did actually. We spoke to the Australian men's pair last night who got in at 2 a.m. the morning before. Their flights were cancelled from Varazze, and a big shout out to the Australian rowing team currently over in Varazze preparing for World Cup 3 in Lucerne next week. They'll all be watching this, I'm sure, with great interest and watching the Aussie women hopefully make it all the way through to Sunday and take home the prize. But they have had a troubled journey to get here, but I saw them out on the course yesterday, and it looks like they're looking pretty comfortable with this row over the course in preparation for the next round.
If you look at the different athletes, the Australian boat is more of a dog's breakfast. There's 4 different states, from Tasmania, 4 Victorians, whereas in Iowa, they almost all hail from the tiny state of Iowa.
Exactly. You're looking at the Australian women's 8 here, so it is, like I said, one of the best 8s that our country can put together, and hopefully we get to see them in full flight on the weekend.
Well, it was a good Henley start for the crew from Australia. We see them going there through the line in the Remenham, a win for the National Training Centre Australia, ahead of the University of Iowa in the USA.